Last season on A Place to Call Home.
You promised me George and then Renee. We're cut from the same cloth.
The deed to Ash Park. I shall be leaving tomorrow. Keep an eye on her. I have no idea who Elizabeth Bligh really is.
I look forward to meeting her.
It won't be easy carrying your dead child to term.
Jarvis finds a girl in trouble with an imminent delivery, and you emerge with a bonny, bouncing babe in your arms.
You look happy.
I am.
There is a cancer at the heart of your family. That guarantees sleepless nights whether you open it or not. So which will it be? Worrying or wondering?
Carolyn Bligh.
Please don't. Don't do what I think you're doing. I love you.
I always will.
I did love George. George, it's Sarah. George.
Stay back!
Try and stay awake.
Le fusil. Maintenant!
What happened?
Le fusil!
The gun, it went off.
Donnez-moi!
Renee, what are you doing?
On peut pas lui faire confiance, il faut pâtir.
Help me.
Les autres nous attendent.
Tu ne pas honte, la guerre est finie.
Do something!
I can't. George is losing too much blood.
Ça!
No! N'approche pas!
Renee, stop! No!
I'm warning you! He shot George!
Easy!
We need help! An ambulance! Jack! Regina! Right to Ash Park! Call an ambulance!
No! Get away from him! I need to be the one helping him. Stop! You shouldn't leave him. I'm not leaving him.
He could die. Tell Jack to bring IV fluids.
Go!
Finally, he sleeps.
Thanks to his wonderful mother.
Hardly. I mean, I love him to pieces, but I never dreamed it would be this difficult.
James had a hearty set of lungs on him too at Georgie's age.
Well, at least I had perfect pitch. Father told me about your school's production of The Mikado.
It was fabulous. Everyone said so.
Help! Come quickly! Call Jack! Tell him to hurry. George has been shot.
What? How?
On the far boundary, there was an argument. That mad Nordman, she said, to bring fluids.
Tell them to put Jack in the police.
Who's she?
The nurse.
Sarah's with George.
Regina, come inside.
I can't.
Regina! Regina!
1, 2, 3. The entry point is central. It could be spinal. He has to go to Sydney.
Sydney, are you sure?
There's no choice.
Then I'll go with you.
Well, aren't you needed here?
Trying to sort out what happened.
Jack, if the bullet moves.
I'll look after Renee. Try to keep him immobile.
Jack, this is out of the question.
There's no time. And keep his fluids up.
Tell Renee I'll be back as soon as I can. Stay with him.
Drive carefully.
I'll telephone as soon as I know anything.
That's all we'll be thinking about. James, your father will weather this. I know it.
What would I do without you?
Let's go, James.
Will I telephone Elizabeth? Tell her what's happened.
Would you?
And Anna?
She'd want to know.
Poor thing, just married and done this. Perhaps we should wait until we know. Until we find out what happens with George. Let her have some happiness.
I think it's thrilling.
You do? Oh, thank you.
But, my dear, how will you cope? I mean, no home and no domestic staff.
Well, if a woman like Freya Stark can cross the Middle East, I can do without a maid.
You
You and your lady adventurers.
Oh, well, how can one not be inspired? The way they take on the world.
But what will you do?
The world is my oyster. How modern.
Excuse me, Mrs. Bly. Telephone. It's urgent.
Olivia? George shot. I don't... Dr. Nordman. Yes, as soon as I can.
His pulse is weak and thready. We have to take the bullet out.
You're not serious.
Causing more damage. Just...
Hey, what are you doing?
can't reach it.
You're going to kill him.
Stay with me, George. Come on, we need something sharp to open up the wound. Wire or anything. Look for something. Quickly! Okay, stay with me, George. Stay with me. I'm sorry, George.
You're okay. It's okay.
Got it. Bandages quickly.
You're safe, Renee. The war's over. You'll be right.
Get him inside. What is wrong with him? Head injury. He gets confused.
He's a decent bloke,
He's French. He needs to be in hospital.
Not when he's facing murder charge.
Come on, Eddie, the bloke's not well.
Well, then get him a lawyer.
Bella mia. I have a special surprise for you.
Oh, husband, you look obscenely happy.
Buzz Best Vintage.
He'll kill you.
Oh, we are honeymooning. No, we deserve it.
Not for me.
What's wrong?
I don't know, I just feel a little bit off colour, that's all.
You aren't
What?
a bambino.
No, not yet, anyway.
Then what?
It's nothing.
Oh, no, please.
No, I can't. It's too embarrassing. I don't know what to wear to the theatre. Does that make me seem terribly frivolous?
Amore, never.
He suffered a gunshot wound to the abdomen. I've given him 2 pints of fluid.
Blood pressure?
Stabilizing, but there was substantial blood loss.
The bullet's mobile.
No, I removed it.
In a moving ambulance. You took quite a risk.
I thought the intervention justified to keep him alive.
It's quite possibly what you've done, sister.
Nordman, the object I used to open the wound, wasn't sterile.
Good to know.
Stay with us, George.
Sister, go.
Sarah,
Elizabeth, how is he? Oh, they're taking him into theatre.
how could your husband, a disturbed man, gain possession of a gun? I can't understand it. Oh, if anything happens to George.
Let's find you a change of clothes.
Is there any news?
I should never have left that part.
Thank you, Mrs. Standish.
Let's get this over with. Should be on my way to Sydney.
Of course. As soon as we sort out what happened.
I told you what I know. That madman shot George Bly.
Well, can you tell me again from the beginning, so that it's clear?
Just... I don't know. It happened so quickly.
No, you can't do this.
Mrs. Standish, you remembered something? It's important. If the Frenchman deliberately shot Mr. Bly, he'll face the death penalty. You're the only witness.
Are you saying that communist Jew could hang?
He's a red?
One hears things. I mean to say the French. Who knows where their sympathies really lie?
Jewish as well, eh?
We all know what that kind will do to serve their purpose. As bad as the Nazis, half of them.
About the shooting.
I'm afraid I can't be of more help. It's still rather a blow.
Well, perhaps it'll become clearer.
Perhaps. I'll telephone the moment it does.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant.
I should have telephoned Dr. Cargill. Had George transferred to a private hospital. Rifles don't just go off. How did Regina explain it?
She didn't say. She was too upset.
Did I not ask you to keep an eye on her? Really, Mother? Regina will twist this to her advantage.
Thank you. Please, I don't want us to be at odds, not at a time like this.
Having a child in danger, is it? It's a terrible thing. I didn't consider how difficult this must be for you. Please forgive me.
Of course. But I must get back. Renee's.
Oh, he'll need his wife, yes. Norman will drive you. I insist. I so appreciate what you've done.
I did what anyone would do.
I think we can agree that that's a modest assessment. Let me do this for you, please.
Thank you.
Mate, eat something, eh? Keep your strength up. Sarah will be back soon. It's all here for you, Renee. A new life. I know you're protecting yourself from those god-awful memories. You can put all those behind you. It was possible. You can't let them get on top of you, mate. You can't live in the past. You just can't.
case, I don't remember.
Did he shoot George deliberately or not?
That depends.
On what?
Do you know he's facing a death sentence if George dies?
Something must have happened.
Perhaps he realized his wife was in love with another man and decided to eliminate the competition.
No, not Renee. He wouldn't.
No, you're right. George probably got hurt trying to wrestle the gun from a suicidal maniac.
What is it you want, Regina?
If George dies, I'm going to make sure your husband hangs.
And if he lives?
I'll tell them it was an accident.
I see.
Get your mad Jew back. And who knows where George turns to for comfort. Shalom.
He knows who you are.
How's George? Any news?
He's gone into surgery. And Renee?
What an unspeakable tragedy. The whole town is praying for Mr. Bly.
I'm sure he appreciates it, Doris.
And we understand that you were instrumental in saving him. You were there.
I need to see my husband.
I don't believe a word of what they're saying. It can't be true.
And what are they saying?
This unsavory mistrust of foreigners. If there's anything I can do to help.
No visitors.
He's not well. Let me through.
That the defense, is it?
I wasn't aware my husband was on trial.
You won't get any sense out of him.
René. Mon chéri. It's me. Sarah. Tu m'appartiens. Tu es mien. Remember?
Sarah.
Yes. Yes. There you are. We will find a way through this. You and I. Will.
All right. Time. I said time.
I'll be back soon.
On va pas. Tu peux pas me laisser comme ça. Je vais mourir ici.
René, you're safe. Je ne vais pas t'abandonner ici.
Johnson.
Sarah.
Renee!
Let her go!
Let go!
Go, mate.
Get down!
Let him go.
Say it! Get down!
Back away! Now! Hey! What did I tell you?
He needs help.
He needs a straitjacket.
He needs medical attention.
He was injured in the war, Eddie.
And the war made him kill George Bly, eh? Commie bastard.
Men like you should be ashamed.
Get out. Forget it, Sarah.
If it wasn't there, wouldn't understand.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm not leaving him.
You don't get a choice. Okay, all right, all right. Let's not make this any worse.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bly's family.
Oh, yes, I'm his mother. Mrs. Elizabeth Bligh. This is my daughter Carolyn, my grandson James. And you are?
Henry Fox, surgeon. Your son is a very lucky man. The bullet missed the spleen and liver. And I must admit, Sister Nordman was right to remove the bullet before it caused more damage.
Oh, that is good news. Can we see him?
I'm afraid he's not out of danger. He's lost a lot of blood, and infection is still a possibility.
But he will recover.
I'm confident he will, yes.
Now I can telephone Emma.
Excuse me.
It's been a difficult day for everyone. It's made no easier by the stunning lack of professionalism displayed by your staff to keep us waiting without a word.
Grandmother.
No. I'm afraid it's not good enough. My son will be transferred to Arthur Cargill's care forthwith. I said it's decided. You know Dr. Cargill, I presume?
Cargill, yes, he's a fine man.
Indeed.
His equipment's not quite up to date. And his registrars aren't on call 24 hours a day. But for the vapors or a nervous turn...
Are you arguing with me?
Mrs. Bligh, it would be foolish to send your son to a lesser-equipped hospital. Later, when all he requires is a fluffy pillow, it might be sensible, if you'll excuse me.
Of course, Grandmother's giving the staff what for.
I can imagine. But your father is alive. That is all that matters.
I suppose it's just a waiting game now to see if he wakes up.
Darling, I am sorry, but I really must go. We'll talk again soon.
Was everything all right?
I'm interviewing for the maid's position.
Is now really the time?
Your grandmother made the arrangements before she left. And with the christening fast approaching and so much still to be done...
Perhaps we should delay the christening until Father has recuperated. And as for hiring a new maid...
Don't give it another thought. I'm sorry. I feel so utterly useless down here by myself.
I'm sorry, Lydia. I don't mean to scold you.
No, it's nothing. Be with your father. Telephone the minute he wakes up.
Goodbye.
Bye, darling. How kind.
A hearty brew puts everything right, to be sure.
Quite. Rose, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm afraid I have wasted your time. I'm sorry to tell you, the interviews must be postponed.
Never mind. Family comes first.
Rose? Could you stay a moment?
Cigarette? No, thanks. I should apologize for my grandmother's behavior. You saved my father's life.
No apology necessary. How are you holding up?
It's a long story, but I don't much like hospitals.
Truth be told, I don't much like them either.
You must think me such a fool for getting so emotional in there.
I think you're rather human, actually.
It's just that my father and I, we've had a difficult time with him.
You know, people will tell you differently. There's nothing you can do about what's been or what's yet to be. All we can affect is the present.
My grandmother would tell you differently. She lives for the past. And what she plans for the future.
Yes, she's quite the lioness, isn't she? Defending her patch of savannah. Are you sure you won't join me? Something awfully sad about puffing away on one's own.
Why not? I should get back.
Mother, sit down. Did you
11? No answer. Jackson's his best.
Is he? Can I see him?
It is family only.
I am family.
Immediate family. Your presence is not required.
So don't let us keep you.
I brought George's things. Personal effects, his favorite books and photographs. To remind him of all he has to live for.
I got the tickets. Streetcar named Desire. Front row balcony, just like you wanted.
Thank you. Would you mind awfully if we didn't go? I just don't feel up to it. Sorry to be a spoil sport.
You read Swanson's letter.
Please don't be angry with me, Gina.
I'm not with you. But I know we promised.
But the things he wrote.
Like what? Like what, Anna?
He said that little Georgie isn't James's son, that Olivia bought another baby after losing the one that she carried.
You can't believe him. He's a liar, a cazzo. He wants to make pain for your family, to punish you for marrying me.
There's more to it than that, Gino. But I can't tell you.
Anna, you're playing into his hands. To worry or wonder, that's what he wants. You can't let Andrew do this to us, even if it's true, and it's not. It's not our place.
Gino.
He's toying with you, Bella.
Do you really think so?
Yes, Anna. I do. Forget about it.
Did someone come to your aid?
It was my own fault. My own fault. It was a proper dill leaving my bag on the seat like that.
Oh, it's so odd. The Inverness train seems so perfectly safe.
Perhaps in first class.
Of course.
No, I bought in the way of references for the position.
Did the station master think they'd find the culprit?
He said he'd try, but...
And your previous mistress? You say she's on a grand tour of Europe?
The whole family.
That's the reason you've no position.
It's all explained in the reference. Mrs. Celia was ever so nice with what she said.
I see. Excuse me? I beg your pardon.
Oh, man. I'm ever so sorry.
What's all this about? What is all this about? Is it ever so bad? Is it ever so bad?
How did you do that?
When you've got as many brothers and sisters as me, as I have. Such a sweet little thing.
Well, you do have a way with him.
I'm not sure I have. There's nothing more natural than a mother's love. I can get a new reference, but it may take a while.
Perhaps a trial period, then, until it arrives.
Truly?
When might you start?
Tomorrow?
Perfect. I think this one needs attention.
I can do that.
Hello. I'm perfectly all right.
Mr. Bly has responded well to the transfusions. His blood pressure has improved. There's no sign of further bleeding.
And infection?
And his stable temperature indicates no sign of infection. He's not out of the woods, but stable enough for a visitor.
Splendid.
Mr. Bly?
Oh. You're sure?
As it should be.
Imagine a doctor playing such petty games at a time like this.
gonna talk to him? Well, he's up to the gills on morphine, but there's no harm in trying. We're all here for you, Father. We're praying for you. We'll get through this. Blow the doors off their hinges, let the world and dash part. Just like you said. We'll do it for little Georgie. It won't be about the past. Just the present. He can hear me.
I said I'm fine.
Honestly,
It's Renee we need to worry about.
you don't look fine.
Enough.
I know you don't want to face the fact. Renee could have hurt you.
He was upset.
You know I'm right.
Such a betrayal to admit being afraid of my own husband. We have to get him out of that place. It's that place.
Right now, I'm taking you home to Royce.
No, I need to be with Renee. I should never have left him.
Tomorrow. You need rest. Doctor's orders. Much.
I mean to say, if Dr. Nordman is a genuine threat to the safety of the community, then we ought to know about it, regardless of the esteem in which his wife may be held. Don't you agree?
No, I do not. All this Reds under the bed nonsense sounds like a lynch mob.
Surely one has a right, in fact a duty, to question...
All we know is that George Bly almost died. And a lot of other people are hurting because some tortured soul got hold of an unattended weapon.
Surely you don't hold yourself responsible.
Well, it was my gun that did the shooting. No two ways about that.
That's preposterous. How could you have possibly foreseen this? You couldn't have. Well, you're wrong. You're quite wrong. Why not?
Bottoms up.
Cheers. Mrs. Nordman.
Cuppa?
Just bed, I think.
I won't have it, George. I won't. You will wake up. We will be together.
I love you, George. Always have. You've just never seen it, never trusted it. I'm going to show you. Without you.
You are so utterly willful. Come away from him.
I had to see him.
Get out. Now.
He will want to see me.
Leave.
I'll leave, but I'm not going anywhere.
Don't tell me how it does beat inside that cadaverous chest.
Mother? Mother? Help! Someone! Please help!
Mrs. Bly, what's happening?
It was a dizzy turn, nothing more.
It was a lot more. Excuse me. And by the sound of things, hardly a new condition.
I am in perfect health.
She was hospitalized not long ago.
And you've no doubt heard what I'm about to tell you.
She has.
Bed rest at home for at least a week.
Out of the question. My son needs me here.
You'll be no good to George if you're ill.
Grandmother, if you have another heart attack, you could die.
I find it best not to terrify my patients wherever possible.
Your patients aren't my grandmother.
True.
I do hope you're enjoying yourselves.
Mrs. Bly, you need rest. If you won't rest at home, I'll have to admit you.
No.
Grandmother.
I'm sure cardiology has a private room on the 4th floor. I'll have the nurses bring the paperwork.
Very well. But I insist you inform me if there is any change in George's condition.
I shall leave the strictest instructions.
Wow. He's rather smashing, don't you think?
That's what comes of handing out scholarships willy-nilly.
Hey, Anna. Anna!
You quiet that hound down and get to bed. You gonna get the law on you.
Can you imagine having a marriage like Stella and Stanley's?
Well, happily, I don't have to.
And poor Blanche. I do hope I never have to depend on the kindness of strangers.
You won't have to. I'm gonna be the best husband.
Oh! Mr. Paletti!
Gino, dove stai? My son è solo. Gino.
Is my Italian that bad? Could you not understand?
Mom, Papa, I've had news of my brother.
That's wonderful, isn't it?
Mom, Papa, I want to leave right away. We need to look after the farm.
Of course.
They want to go tomorrow.
I can start packing. We'll leave first thing in the morning. We can take them to the station.
You're not upset about the honeymoon?
Gino, we have the rest of our lives together. And the farm to ourselves.
The other business with a letter. That's not why you're happy to go home. Anna.
I can't pretend that I don't know. I feel that I have to do something.
Olivia was pregnant. She had the baby. Swanson Potts saw he's lying.
But it could be true, Gino.
How?
It makes sense that Olivia would be that desperate for a baby if perhaps there wasn't to be another.
Why wouldn't there be? Can James not make one?
If he didn't want to.
What man doesn't want to?
You can't tell anyone.
I will not say anything.
James is.
Is what?
He's different.
What are you saying?
That James is a homosexual.
No. He can't be. James? That's disgusting.
Gino.
That's disgusting.
Of course, Andrew plans to attend all the best parties in London. And then there's the polo and the fox hunting. Oh, perhaps even an invitation to Chequers. Oh, doesn't it make you want to be their age again? Your whole life ahead. Oh, Elizabeth. Oh, my goodness. Oh, how thoughtless of me. Carrying on about my son when yours lies in a hospital bed. Oh, what a fine pair. All misty eyes and runny noses. Tea, I think. Or whiskey. Quite right. Doubles. Oh! Diana!
Sarah.
Mom, Papa will be anxious to see you before they leave.
I'll ride over as soon as I've spoken with him. You understand what I have to do. It's true or not. James should know.
It's none of my business.
Whatever James is, he's my brother.
Hello, Mrs. Coletti.
Hello, Colleen. Is Mr. James home?
No, but you'll find Miss Olivia and Georgie on the lawn.
Hello, stranger. We thought we'd break with tradition and breakfast in the sunshine.
Grandmother would never approve.
Possibly not. We needed cheering up.
About what? Did somebody say something?
No, I meant because of your father. You do know he's in the hospital.
Is he all right? Why didn't anyone tell me?
Carolyn said she would telephone. We didn't want to ruin your honeymoon.
I have to go to the hospital.
No, Anna, wait. He's in Sydney. He was shot.
That bouquet can go, Carolyn. It's lovely, ostentatious.
It will not. They're George's favourites.
Wrong side of funereal, if you ask me.
Well, then it's a good thing nobody is.
Must you... Father, make such an awful
George.
George.
About time.
You're all here.
Yes, we are.
Where is here exactly?
There was an accident.
Renee.
You remember what happened?
There was a struggle. I don't remember anything.
You're going to make a full recovery. That's all that matters. I'd like to place a telephone call.
It's for hospital use only. But I'm sure, in this case,
that will be all.
What did you do to him?
He wouldn't stop banging his head.
What did you do?
Nothing. The man's a fruitcake.
We have to do something.
Open the cell. I need to assess this man's wounds. Oh, Sarah, what's going on?
I should have.
Sit. Listen.
Sarge. Telephone.
I telephoned as soon as I remembered to prevent any miscarriage of justice. I must have been blocking it out because of the shock. That poor man wasn't trying to kill George. He was about to take his own life. I know who would consider such a thing.
And Mr. Bly was shot.
Trying to wrestle the gun from the madman. George is the hero of the piece. It's so clear to me now.
You realize Nordman will go free?
I do hope no one holds it against him.
You know, you never said how you ended up with the rifle.
I suppose it was dropped after it went off.
You suppose?
Are you questioning my words, Sergeant? That really wouldn't do. Thank you for coming by.
Darling, what splendid news. Well, give your father my love.
Oh, Father, I was so worried. Look at you. What a pickle.
Need some help?
It's done. Isn't it?
Sarah. Sarah. Nausea, vomiting, fatigue.
It's the last few days, everything that's happened.
Sarah.
I'm pregnant.